All right. I got a couple things in Blue Ridge, and I'm going to move on. I'm getting stuck today. I apologize. FetcherNews.com, we want to apologize to you because we've been a little behind getting our content put up. We've been a little behind on a couple things because of the new website. I can't go check too many. We got a lot of new, fresh stories on there, but I can't go check them out. But July seems to be the month of lawsuits here, so we'll take July. There's several lawsuits going on that July and hearings. The hearing for the elections, my understanding is the hearing for the elections in the city of Blue Ridge, let me read this letter, is let's see, I have it here. I apologize. I think it's in July. I think in July there's a hearing in downtown Atlanta concerning the elections, is my understanding. This month in July, there's a hearing in downtown Atlanta where they have to report to, let's see, July 15th. July 15th, there's a hearing for remember the big Blue Ridge City Council mayor blowout fiasco? Remember all that? Filing complaints about people voting twice. What was it, 13 people voted twice? Filing complaints about somebody buying somebody a case of beer. I read the whole thing to get them to vote. Filing a complaint saying somebody intimidated somebody in the lobby going to vote. Filing complaints of domicile where people lived. I have the whole list of who it was. I have every complaint here on my computer. Remember that whole thing? Well, it's finally come to a head. Some have been cleared, what I would say. I read that. I'm not going to go into that. But the Blue Ridge City Council / mayor election fiasco, okay, where, I didn't get it my way results. That's the bottom line. I read the whole thing. I've seen them all, and I didn't get it my way results. And I'm not talking about any of the real candidates. I'm talking about some people that got involved in it that were backbiting. And actually, I will tell you later what this became the birth of. I'll tell you right now, this became the birth of something, and I'll share that with you next week. And it's not humorous, but I'm going to wait till next week to tell you what the Blue Ridge City Council / mayor election became the birth of. They need to be there. Let's see, 10 a.m. in the state. If you're interested in going to hear this, please be aware and take note that this case currently on the agenda for the State Election Board meeting for July 15, 2015, beginning at 10 a.m. in the State Capitol Building, 206 Washington Street, Atlanta, room 341. So that is coming to a head this month. That's one of the July hearings. The second one is there's an answer. They're waiting on an answer right now. Waiting on an answer now. The person that sent us an email, not to get sidetracked, have you communicated back with them, and are they seeing things now? Because we're playing well. We did get an email out there that somebody said it looked like we were dropping frames, but it's playing. We're not dropping still here, and it's playing well on the other computer.
I haven't got anything back yet, but
Everything's playing?
it's fine.
Okay. If you ever are on the road or tech department out there, many of you send us messages. If we ever have audio and we have video or anything like that, let us know and send us a message. But also in July, the Ada Street LLC, we're waiting on an answer on that. Okay? We're waiting on an answer on that. I'll tell you more about the City of Blue Ridge election tomorrow. Okay, but Ada Street LLC, we're waiting on an answer on that from the judge against the City Council of Blue Ridge, waiting for that answer to come down. Waiting for it in writing. It should be coming any day in writing. So we're keeping our ears open for that. Ada Street LLC wanted to rezone the commercial residential piece there on the corner of Ada Street, next to Oakland Square, I think it is. And they wanted to rezone. Half of it is already, my understanding, zoned commercial. They wanted to finish it out and make the rest commercial and build a 32-unit project there. I'm going to wait for the outcome of that. I've waited. Unlike some that strike a match, I call it the strike a match, and start a fire and then drive to the fire to get the story. Here at FetcherNews.com, your host BKP, I try to wait for some things to develop, so when I bring you something, I'm bringing you some clear information on the story. I'm going to wait for the outcome of this, and then I'm going to tell you, okay, what developments have happened that may be reasoning why some members of Blue Ridge City Council moved not to let Ada Street LLC zone this property commercial. It could. Remember, could. It's alleged, possible, maybe, but I'm going to wait till it comes out because there's some city council members that may have more questions to answer after this ruling comes out. If the ruling comes out in favor of city council, we'll see. But there's two ways there. There's something to talk about. That we're waiting on this month. We're also waiting this month. I don't have the date. I'll get it today of when Fannin County goes to court. Fannin County goes to court for the lawsuit against the commissioners. Remember, what was that? Spy versus Spy. Remember Spy versus Spy? Was it Mad Libs?
Mad TV?
Yeah,
Mad
Spy
TV.
Spy versus Spy.
Yeah, I remember it.
You don't remember Mad Magazine, though, do you?
Yes.
You do? Yeah, when we were kids. You remember, Lord, my ADD's kicking in, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you. Mad Magazine, when we was a kid, we get it, and you fold the guy's face over. He always had it, and it made something else. You remember that?
That I don't remember.
You don't remember?
But I remember the magazine.
Okay, forget. Spy versus Spy. Commissioner versus Commissioner. Fannin County, we're waiting for that trial, when I say trial, that court case to come up this month. That one we're waiting on. We have a defamation case that we're gonna wait and see what happens there. That's July 14th. I know what you're saying, that I'm not telling you much, but I want to hold that one and wait for some developments on the defamation case that involves a court stenographer. We're waiting on that one, July 14th, a court stenographer in Fannin County that was involved in a pretty contentious situation that took place there back around Memorial Day. We're going to talk about that one. And for those of you that have asked, because we're in Blue Ridge, I have sent the special master, Mr. Mark Dellar, a message on basically a daily message to see if something has been submitted from the bar, the State Bar Association, concerning Speaker of the House David Ralston possibly being disbarred. He is having to hear some. He is facing some. I don't want to call it charges. Charges is a tough word. He is facing some questioning from the State Bar that the Georgia Supreme Court has appointed a special master, and we're going to see what happens there. So we are waiting for that on a daily basis this month. And the list goes on. So July is going to be a hot month, not just, no pun intended, with the heat, but it's going to be a hot month concerning lawsuits that are fired up in Fannin County, and concerning also what will be going on with the Speaker of the House. Now, I have a question for you. March, let's see, April, May, June, July, 4 months, right? Yeah, right? Now, I want to bring this up because I want Park and Rec. I have something here in my hand I want to bring up. I'm going to take a brief break, and I want to talk about Fannin County Park and Rec when I return. Kyle, you're going to have to send me a signal and tell me when I'm too long. I'm going to talk about, and it's my fault, I understand. I get on these tangents, and I shouldn't. But we're going to talk about Fannin County Park and Rec. I've got something I want to know from you out there, what's going on. I want to see if you can help me with something. All right? Don't forget, if you'd like to sponsor our show, Good Morning from the Office, 706-889-9700. You can text us if you would like to get your commercial to run on our show, 706-889-9700, or chief@fetyournews.com. Don't forget, today you can enjoy lunch at the 1907 restaurant, located off the square here in River Street, on River Street in LJ, 1907 restaurant. Mattress overstocked. Go see my friends Gary, Richard, Rhonda, the mattress lady, for the best mattress at the best price. They truly want to help you sleep better. Located in the East LJ Walmart Shopping Center. Mention you heard this ad on Fetch and receive a special gift with purchase. Call them today with any questions, 706-698-7378, or come in for a great deal. Now let me just say it like this. Mattress overstock. Promo code Fetch Your News. We need to put that on Facebook. Mattress overstock, promo code Fetch Your News. Go in there, get a discount I have set up just for you, okay? LJ Fitness, 379 River Street. LJ Fitness, 379 River Street, LJ, 706-636-2348. New Ground Market. Find New Ground Market on Facebook or newgroundmarket.com, located at 118 North Main Street, LJ, 706-455-3018. Messrs. Orchard, I told you yesterday, and I'm going to come back and tell you in a minute, it is the Facebook page that just, the blueberries, the blackberries, the peaches, it jumps out. I tell you, they're doing a great job posting stuff. If you want to see what's going on, find Messrs. Orchard on Facebook. I'm going to take a 3-minute break, and we will return. We're going to talk a little bit about Park and Rec there in Fannin County. We're going to talk a little bit about the meeting of Blue Ridge coming up. When they vote to approve the minutes of the last meeting, is that a problem? Is that a problem? I'm going to tell you why I think it could be a problem and see what they think maybe. Let's go to break. We'll be back in 3 minutes. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show, BKP here. Welcome all. Everybody's welcome. Welcome to FYN TV. Never know what I'm going to be listening to when we come back from our commercial break. It's Wednesday, July 8th. This Wednesday morning, it's 69 degrees. The high today is going to be 91. Well, it's already 71 degrees. I'm sorry. High today is 91. Going to be a hot day out there. Check us out on Facebook. See what we're talking about. We put on Facebook every morning different things that we're going to get into as far as discussion. We'd like to have you a part of that discussion here at FetchYourNews.com. Good morning from the office. 706-889-9700 if you'd like to be a part of that discussion. Follow us on Twitter at FetchYourNews. Right here. At FetchYourNews, hashtag GMFTO. If you'd like to be on the show, make a comment, let us know. We have a new website. I know it is not the 3rd of September, but I will get this off. I'll never forget that day. Okay. Team FYN Sports Talk coming your way 10 to 12 Monday through Friday. We are looking for co-hosts to help put out Team FYN Sports Talk. Now, before we left, we were talking about the city of Blue Ridge. And we were talking, but I'm going to get back into Fannin County in a minute, and I'm going to have to wrap this up because I have got to get to the state and national on time today, and I've got a lot of work to do today as far as the website. I know I call it Nap Wednesday. As soon, I'm going to tell you what I want you to know out there about me. The very minute you see that new website, then I can take a deep breath, exhale, get some rest, and start my next project. I'm always on a project. If you see me, I'm on a project. So once the website's done, you can be wondering, okay, what project's BKP on now? But I can move on, and I don't have to be in website development, okay? And I will be glad when I'm not doing that. Anyhow, Fannin County, I have this Donald Van Lendingham that was produced March 31st on 2015. So on the last day of March, Donald Van Lendingham handed the Board of Commissioners of Fannin County an audit. Now, I'm going to check. I don't think it was that day they let Mr. Hotchkiss go. But after that, let's see, March, April, May, June, July. 4 months after that audit report was completed, there is no Park and Rec director. Now, where I'm wrong, please send me a message. But I go to the meetings. If you out there are watching, you know that. If you don't go to the meetings, you know I go there. I set this camera up. I point it up there. I watch everybody go to the podium. I can remember everybody that goes, basically what they say, because the camera's going and I'm paying attention. And there was it all started out with, I'd like to know from the podium, and I have that video, I'd like to know who's paying for the house. That's where this ball started rolling, okay? Is the rent on the house? Is that part of Mr. Hotchkiss, his compensation? Now, what that snowballed into, that's the night. That is the night it took off. Is that night from the podium. From that night on, and I'm not defending Mr. Hotchkiss. I want to make sure that's clear because, you know what? GBI is investigating it, and whatever becomes of it will become of it. It's not for me to say. And that's not where we're going with this. But from that minute on, there was a firestorm of from the podium, on and on and on. I mean, there was writings in newspapers. There was Fetcher News. Everybody was writing this story. It was on and on and on. There was an agenda. We got to get rid of this guy. You know what? And maybe for good reason. But the point is, where are you people at now? Where are you at now? I don't hear from you now. I'll see you at the podium. See, I'm really shocked. I'm really shocked because what I was thinking is the night they let Mr. Hotchkiss go, that the next meeting, the very next meeting, the Fannin County Board of Commissioners would have, two things could have happened. The Fannin County Board of Commissioners would have said, here is the process to the public. You know, the thing that gets me is you always wonder where I'm going to come down on the side of the public, the citizens. So I'm thinking the very next meeting I show up, they're going to tell us how the process is for hiring a new Park and Rec director, right? So go there and listen and nothing said. See, I'm thinking you're going to hear, okay, here's our process. We are going to put an ad in the Legal Organ. We're going to run it for 2 weeks. After we run it for 2 weeks, we're going to compile the applications. After we compile the applications, we're going to sit down and sort through them, and then we're going to have a couple workshops. Fannin County Commissioners never have workshops. We're going to have some workshops, and we're going to talk about some of this. Then we're going to go into executive session. We're going to make a decision on somebody, and we're going to come out and vote together. They don't have to. Mr. Simons can hire by himself, but we're going to make a decision. We're going to vote together, and we're going to have a new park director. We're going to give it 60 days. 60 days max. We're going to write the new Park and Rec directors, because don't they have to write his compensation and bring it to the public? If you're out there today, I want to know, because the transparency is what's got me. If you're out there today in Fannin County and you have seen the new Park and Rec director's compensation package, if you've seen what he gets, does he get benefits? Does he get a company car, county truck, county gas? Does he get a credit card? What is the because see, the big thing was, to me, what I kept hearing is the last Park and Rec director, there was no clear compensation package. Nobody could say the clear compensation package of the last Park and Rec director. Nobody could really do it. So I've heard we're going to rewrite the compensation package. We're going to rewrite the duties of the Park and Rec director. We're going to define it, and we're going to put a new compensation package in place. That's what I hear, okay? Have you seen it? No. Is it public of what the Park and Rec Director's new compensation package is? No. The people that have applied for the job, when are they going to find out? Are they being told that there's a compensation package that the public don't know about? Now, I may have missed a meeting. I don't think I did. I may have missed a phone call. I don't think I did. We have an open records request in asking for them, and I think I remember being told when they come back in from the Park and Rec Board, after they sort through the resumes, they'll make us a copy and give them to us. I don't know. But what I want to know today, almost 4 months after the fact, where are the podium people demanding why you wanted transparency? I heard it. You wanted transparency. You alleged, it is in writing, it's in publications, it's all over, alleged wrongdoing, alleged checks that were written, alleged ledgers that missing stuff in there, blah, blah, blah. All this is out there because you wanted transparency for Fannin County. And it was just wrong. Allegedly, if Mr. Hoskins stole all this money, it's just wrong. It's for the children. It's wrong. The children. Where are those same people demanding transparency in a new Park and Rec Director compensation package? Where are you at? Where are the same people demanding transparency to see who the candidates are? Where are you at? Where is the process? Where are you at? When are the commissioners going to announce the next step? Where are you at? I get a phone. You say, why are you doing a story today? Because I get a phone call yesterday, and I'm going to leave it at that. Phone call says, you know who the new Park and Rec Director is? I said, no, I was at the last meeting. The last meeting, if memory serves me right, in Fannin County, the auditor gave the 40-minute boring audit report that, caused some firestorm there for good reason. So I don't know if I missed a meeting. I don't know if I missed a phone call. Now, when I say they, I'm not going to say that. But I don't know if I've missed anything. I won't say that I've never been invited to something and find out later, and it was an accident that I didn't get invited. I won't say that's never happened here at FetcherNews.com. But where is that trend? I got a call yesterday. Hey, I can tell you who the new Park and Rec Director is. Really? Now, I can't say this because I have nothing to confirm this, nothing. But I'm thinking, where's the process? Where's the process? The citizens of Fannin County deserve to know. If you ever wonder where I'm coming down on, what side I'm coming down on, it's always for the citizens. When are you going to know? I mean, I don't know who's running the show. There was an outrage, there was uproar about appointing a Park and Rec board member last meeting. I was there. The closest thing I've heard to Park and Rec since the night that Mr. Hotchkiss was terminated in public by the commissioners, the closest thing I've heard, I've not seen any commissioner look at Mr. Simons and say, Bill, can you update the public on the Park and Rec situation and who will be the director? Not in public. Not heard it. Always remember, when I go there, I see 3 commission chairs. 3 commission chairs. I see a commission that was elected by the citizens, no matter what county, to do the business of the citizens. Nobody gets crowned. No, nobody gets crowned when they win something. I mean, you go to some of these city councils, you go to some of these commissions, and the minute you know you got a problem in your county or your city is when somebody is sitting in one of those chairs that feel they got crowned to do something. You didn't get crowned to do jack. You got it. You were elected by the citizens to do their business and to be public and transparent. I better move on. Where's the new Park and Rec Director? Why are you worked up over this after 4 months? Because I just don't see the same front page headlines. I just don't see these screaming, where's the transparency? Because the last Park and Rec Director allegedly did all these things. I'd like to know. I'm going to take a brief break so I can come back because I don't want to give the next question that I have concerning the city of Blue Ridge. I don't want to give the next little topic I want to talk about during a time when I'm upset, because this is nothing to be for me to be upset and all worked up over. Your host, BKP, good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show here in North Georgia. Now, I was going through watching the commercials as we go to break. I put the show up on the screen and I watched the commercials just to check them out. North Georgia Diamond, located over in East LJ Walmart Shopping Center. You know, they're a jeweler, and I tell you, watch that commercial in here and watch the work they do. And I am just over the top small business. I love everything about small business. I love everything about family business. Bill and Allison Craig, you know, Gary and Rhonda, the mattress overstocked. The list goes on. I don't want to leave nobody out. I promise, nobody out. Woodbridge Inn, nobody I want to leave out. Okay, the Messier's Orchard, the whole family's involved working. I love that. Watch the commercials. If you would like to get your commercial on here, fetchernews.com. Send me a message, chief@fetchernews.com, if you'd like to get your commercial or be a sponsor of the show. Kyle, let's take a quick break and we'll come back and do one more Blue Ridge segment before we get to our state national for the morning. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. This is your host, BKP. It's a beautiful Wednesday out there. It's going to be a beautiful Wednesday. It is July 8th. We are back. We were talking about Fannin County. We want to wrap that up. You want to stick around after our 8:30 hour. We go into state and national, and you're getting ready to say, well, I thought you have done that for the last hour and a half. We have a lot of state and national issues that are tying right into home. I call it the never could happen here zone we live in sometimes. We don't think things could ever happen here, but we have a lot of national issues that have tied into here. Obviously, we had, in the last 2 weeks, we've had gay marriage, same-sex marriage tied into the local area. We've had the Confederate battle flag tie into the local area. That should be coming down Thursday. We'll talk about that later in South Carolina. We have had sanctuary cities, illegal aliens tying into the local. So there's been a lot of stuff on the national level that has really come home here. Well, I'll be daggone. Maybe our chickens have come home to roost, as Reverend Wright said. America, where's that clip? America, your chickens have come home to roost. Maybe they have. Okay, now I'm going to move on and not get stuck on this, but my question comes up for a couple reasons, and I'm gonna read this. I did not publish this. But I wrote this in an email. This is the Blue Ridge City Council. I'm not in an email. I wrote this in a document and I put it in here for me to use. Sorry about that. On 6/4. See, an agenda came out. On June 2nd, the city of Blue Ridge sent out their agenda. Now, let me give you the timeline for this. On June 2nd, now what I want to get at the end of this for the city of Blue Ridge, it is never my place to make a determination if a law's been broke. I can't make that determination. It's not my place to make a determination if somebody did right or wrong, but procedure is something that concerns me in this next story. On June 2nd, the city of Blue Ridge sent out their agenda for their and we appreciate it coming out so early, for their June 9th meeting, okay? If you go down through and look at that agenda, and I have all of them saved here, if you look at that agenda, on number 8, there was nothing that said police department. It was not on that agenda. Okay? Now, on June 6th, 2 days later, a new agenda was sent out by the Blue Ridge City Council, was sent out for the 6/9 council meeting with an amendment. Item 8 under the June 4th agenda, item 8, under new business said police department. Okay, all right, police department. Now, you got to split words here, and we're not going to get stuck. Department, not constitutional office. Department. The police department was put on the agenda. What are they going to discuss? So if you're a citizen out there, and you're sitting out there and you live in Blue Ridge, and you vote in Blue Ridge, and you pay property tax in Blue Ridge, and you pay your water bill over at the Blue Ridge City Council, and you know they pick up your trash and you pay that bill, and the list goes on, and you see the agenda. Now this is where somebody's saying nobody looks at the agenda. It doesn't matter. It has to be available for people. So you look at the agenda and you want to know, well, what was on the police department? I pay taxes here that I need to see. Okay. Well, turn around on 6/8, the day before, 24 hours. Now, they legally can do this. If I'm not going to say they legally can do this. They do this all the time. All municipalities. 24 hours before, on 6/8, a new agenda was sent out for the June 9th meeting. The police department on the agenda was removed. Now, what's the big deal? June 2nd, agenda comes out, no police department. June 4th, agenda comes out, police department's on the agenda. June 8th, the agenda comes out, no police department on there for the June 9th meeting. Now, why am I bringing this up? Because I'm going to tell you. Sources tell me that in the executive session, the police department that was on the agenda got discussed. Now, what's an executive session? Executive session is no more, it follows the rules of what they call attorney-client privilege. They don't have to come out and talk about it. They don't have to come out and discuss it. But sources say that the police department issue on that June 4th agenda was discussed in that executive session June 9th, but it was pulled off for the public. Pulled off. Now, how do I know? You say sources. Tell us your sources. Something got discussed because the legal organ in Fannin County wrote a whole page article on it, highlighting everything that supposedly, basically almost highlighting so many things that it had to come out of the meeting. You would not have known it. Now, at the end of the story here, I don't know that the police department did anything wrong. I don't know that. That's not the story. Stay away from that. That may be a story for another day, but today that's not the story. The story to me is the public's right to know. What was on the police department that needed on the agenda? Who put it on the agenda? Who put it on the agenda? Who pulled it off the agenda? Because whoever put it on the agenda felt there was something that needed to be discussed in public. Do you understand? Your agenda is a public thing. It's public. Whoever put police department on the agenda felt something needed discussed in public. Whoever pulled it off the agenda, allegedly, possibly felt this should not have been discussed in public. That's my opinion. Clearly, I'm not mentioning a council person. Don't want to hear that I have no. My opinion is somebody felt it didn't need discussed in public. What do I always do? Come down on the side of the public. It was removed. Now, my concern Tuesday is when they vote to accept the minutes. When they vote to accept the minutes of the city council next Tuesday, when they vote to accept those minutes from the June 9th meeting that they have on there, what are they going to do about what took place in that executive session? What are they going to do about that? Because action was taken, I understand. Now you're going to say, they're going to split hairs. They'll call the city attorney, and he's going to say, well, you didn't take a vote. You cannot go in there and discuss this. You can go in there. You have to come out and vote in public. So I'm wondering how you approve those minutes, because not me, BKP, not me, FetcherNews.com, publications out there, publications have written this whole story. And this whole story cannot be told unless it came out of the executive session. Now, if the action was taken, and the police chief, I don't want to mislead people. Please do not take anything out of context. The police chief repaid the money. Okay, he repaid the money to the city that was dispersed for the guns. I don't want that to get caught and misunderstood. If there was any wrongdoing, that would be somebody else to decide on that issue. My point is, that action, who told him that he needed to do that? Why did he feel compelled he needed to come pay that back? Because sources say it was discussed in that executive session. Publications wrote, I don't know if they wrote executive session, but they wrote full stories on this. You couldn't write stories on this if it didn't come out of that executive session. You can't close the doors, go behind closed doors, and bring things in there and make decisions and not come out and do them in public. Can't do it. That's wrong. And here's what I did. Okay? Here's what I did. I did an 18-point open records request. Okay, I did 18 points. And I will tell you this. I asked for a copy of the minutes, because I knew minutes would be coming up for approval. They're coming up for approval. I knew they were coming up for approval, right? So I want a copy of the minutes showing the action of the council taken concerning the repayment of the money used to supplement officers for purchase of the old weapons. It did not come out of executive session and get voted on in front of the public. The public never knew about it. Never would have known about it. I'm sorry. That's my thought. That's my opinion. I've been very clear it's my opinion, but the public wouldn't have known about it unless it got fired up. Let me tell you something. If I did, the meeting was June 9th. I did this open records on June 10th. Next day. Now, I want to know how they're going to approve the minutes. I really do.
Hey, Brian.
Yes.
I got an email from John saying that he believes they actually accepted the June minutes at the workshop yesterday.
It's on the agenda, though. I think it's on the agenda.
That's all he
Well,
says,
I mean,
so.
yeah, but it's on the agenda. June 9th, 2015, 6 p.m. is on the agenda. Approval, council meeting minutes. No, wait a minute, here it is. He's probably right. He's probably right, but June 9th, 2015 council meeting minutes is on the agenda for 6 p.m. July 14th. So they may have at the workshop yesterday. Okay, they may have at the workshop, but it's on the agenda. It says July 14th, 2015, 6 p.m. I don't have the agenda for the workshop. I didn't get an agenda for the workshop.
Right.
I didn't get an agenda. I heard there was a workshop. I didn't go to the workshop yesterday. But for June 9th, 2015, council meeting minutes. Approval. Here's what it says on the agenda. And I agree with the gentleman because he's very thorough, so I understand. But for July 14th, so I've not given you incorrect information. City Council, July 14, 2015, 6 p.m., 480 West 1st Street. Call to meeting, blah, prayer, pledge of allegiance, council meeting rules, approval of minutes from previous meetings if minutes are completed and available. May 5th, workshop meeting minutes. June 9th, and June 12th. Those are on there. So I respect the gentleman that sent that, but they are on the agenda. Now I want to know, ask the gentleman there if they accepted the June 12th. Because June 12th, on Friday at 10 a.m., this meeting was called by council members Angie Arp and Rodney Kendall for the purpose of holding a special called meeting to have an executive session to discuss pending legislation in regards to the second Ada Street LLC lawsuit and legal counsel. Okay, that was a special call meeting, and I would like to see the minutes inside that meeting because the members that voted for Ada Street LLC were, I don't want to say were not invited, but were not in that meeting. They were told it wasn't necessary for them to come. Harold was told, hey, it's not necessary for you to come. Harold Herndon, he was told, not necessary for you to come. Rhonda Thomas, not necessary for you to come. And they were told it wasn't necessary. They only needed the 3 people, which is a quorum, Bruce Pack, Angie Arp, and Rodney Kendall, to go to this meeting. Now, my concern on this one was anything in that lawsuit. I shouldn't do this, and usually when I say I shouldn't do this, I do it anyway. Rhonda Thomas, Councilwoman Rhonda Thomas, may not have been, when I say welcomed, I'm not saying she was told she could not go in, but she was told she did not need to be in there, and it would be, my words, my understanding, kind of ridiculous if she was in there. It'd be against the efforts of them trying to defend the 3 that voted against Ada Street. Crazy. I know, it's absolutely crazy. You can't keep it straight because I can't keep it straight. You got an attorney going in an executive session on 3 that voted against Ada Street, executive session, which the whole council should be able to go to. The attorney could have met with each one of them individually. The only way he could meet with all 3 at one time, so he didn't have to drive here from Gainesville 3 times. Is that what it was? So they didn't have to make 3 different appointments. He could have met with them individually to discuss this lawsuit, but if you call an executive session, I can meet with the 3 of you. The 2 that voted for it, you don't need to show up. That's what happened. The point being is, Councilwoman Rhonda Thomas, you have the right as a councilwoman to go over, you do, and pull the minutes for this executive session that took place and read them. That's my thought. You have those rights. You are council person, you are sworn in under an oath to be able to look at executive session minutes. And I would be interesting to know in that executive session if one other thing other than that court case came up in that meeting. I'd like to hear that. Okay, I got to get out. It's 8:31. Good morning from the front porch with Colonel Oscar Poole. Colonel Oscar Poole is going to be doing Good Morning from the Front Porch. Stick around and listen to Oscar for couple minutes there, and then we're going to have a couple brief commercials, and we will be back and talk about state and national. Before we do, trying to find something here. I want you to come back for state and national. I want to say a couple things. You might like this. Honky, Zebra, the Jeffersons, All in the Family, Black Elmo, Sanford and Son, Chico and the Man, Freddie Prince, Paula Dean, Brownface, Willie Mays. I'm going to put all those together. You're wondering how? I'm going to tell you how they all go together. Come on back. Hey, Donald Trump said, they're filling up your hospital, they're filling up your jails. Everybody's talking about it. So why they call Trump a rodeo clown? We'll be back right after this. Good morning from the front porch with Colonel Oscar Poole.